Hey, what is going on, guys? This video today is going to be a really positive one because Epic has finally decided to address one of the biggest problems on all of console Fortnite, keyboard and mouse usage. I made a video about 2 weeks ago ranting on how an Epic employee indicated that they had no plans to restrict keyboard and mouse on console in any way, and also the implications that that would have on competitive console Fortnite in general. But it appears that luckily this is no longer the case, and that's no longer Epic's opinion on the matter. Yesterday, an Epic Games community manager who goes by the name of JustMooney1 commented on a Reddit post complaining about keyboard and mouse being allowed on console. He said, "Hi, we're actually working on some matchmaking tech on the way that'll pair you against folks based on your choice of peripherals. More info on this coming next week, but TLDR, which stands for too long didn't read, if you're on keyboard and mouse, you'll be against keyboard and mouse." So although this is just a pretty brief tease of the update, it is a major indication that Epic is finally going to tackle the mouse and keyboard problem on console head on. And this is definitely huge. Like I mentioned just a few weeks ago, it seemed like Epic planned on letting keyboard and mouse on console go totally unchecked. I really believe that our feedback as a community was probably the #1 reason they felt the need to make this update. However, due to the fact that so little info is given here, it does make me a tad bit concerned that people will still be able to find ways around what Epic is planning to implement. The first thing that pops in my head right away is the use of an XIM or ZIM adapter, whichever is the correct pronunciation. If you aren't sure what that is, it's basically an adapter that tricks your console into thinking you're actually using the controller associated with the console, but in reality you can either be using a controller from a different console or more commonly keyboard and mouse. Since it's a third-party adapter, I'm very concerned about if Epic will be able to successfully detect it and place players using keyboard and mouse through ZIM into the designated keyboard and mouse lobbies. I actually saw on the Reddit thread that a lot of people had serious doubts about if this was even possible on Epic's end, but after doing some research, I found a really interesting tweet from the corporate vice president of Xbox from earlier this year that addresses this exact issue. So this tweet comes from February 18th, 2018, so pretty recent, only a few months old. Someone tweets at him, "Are there any plans to do anything about people using mouse and keyboard adapters, example ZIM, to play shooters on Xbox?" And the guy replies back, "Developers have the choice to use APIs that detect and not allow these. It's up to them, but the capability is there." So this guy is basically saying that this problem would be in Epic's ballpark. It would be up to them to either ban or at least somewhat prohibit the use of XIM adapters on console that would allow people to use keyboard and mouse. It seems like a fairly simple solution, right? Just straight up ban them, that way we never have to worry about people using keyboard and mouse through these XIM adapters. However, like I mentioned earlier, that is not the only use of these adapters. I actually just purchased an XIM adapter about a week ago because I need it to play PS4 Fortnite with my normal Xbox controller. So you see the pickle Epic's kind of in here, unless they have some other kind of technological capability that I'm not aware of, but they have to choose between either straight up banning XIM adapters and kind of screwing over the people like me that bought them and intended to use them for the fair use of the XIM, which is just to use another console's controller on the console you want to play on. But on the other hand, if they just straight up allow them, everyone who just plugged their keyboard and mouse directly into their console will now go out, drop about $100 on an XIM adapter, and be able to play keyboard and mouse like absolutely nothing changed. So a really tough decision, and I'll be really interested to see what Epic has to say about it. The second problem that kind of popped into my head right after thinking about XIM or ZIM adapters was one that probably has a much more simple fix, but still, because most of us aren't game developers, we're not really sure if Epic even has the capability to do what I'm about to say. But a problem that I envisioned right off the bat was, alright, what if people queue up a game with a controller? Let's just say they're playing PS4, they don't have a keyboard and mouse plugged in, they're just playing with their normal old PS4 controller, queue up a game, the lobby detects that they're using a controller, so puts them in a controller lobby, and then as soon as they're on Spawn Island, or as soon as they land, or even halfway through the game, they plug in their keyboard and mouse, and now they could theoretically be inside of a controller lobby using a keyboard and mouse. Now, like I mentioned, I feel that there is a fairly simple solution here. I believe that Epic should handle this to the point where if you're in a controller lobby and at any time the game senses you changing your input device to a keyboard or maybe even a different controller, you should be immediately kicked from that lobby and none of the stats from the game should count, period. You should be somewhat punished for what you decided to do. Again, it seems fairly simple and I feel like they wouldn't run into any problems, but since none of us work at Epic or on Xbox, we're not truly sure if the capabilities are there to be able to implement this solution. So yeah guys, after thinking it through, this is an insane first step. It's such a win for console Fortnite players in general, but now the ball is in Epic's court. I love the step they've taken. I love the fact that they changed their view on keyboard and mouse usage on console, but now they need to make sure that this update is flawless. If there is any kind of workaround or way to slip through the cracks or way to exploit it to where you can still play keyboard and mouse in a console lobby, the update will be pretty much pointless and nothing will change. So Epic, I'm imploring you, please make sure this update is rock solid, and please make sure I never run into another keyboard and mouse player again on console Fortnite. The implications it would have for console Fortnite competition would be insane, and just in general, it would make it so much more enjoyable of an experience. So a bit of a shorter video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but I just had to get this information out there, and I'll probably make an update video when they ultimately do release this update in full. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.